Okay everyone, we're back here in the dirt roads of Lobo, Batangas. If you remember, for those of you who've seen my previous videos, I took my Triumph Tiger 900 down this road a couple of times. The first time was to take the loop that took me from Laiya to Malabrigo Lighthouse and back through the mountain paths of Lobo Mountain and through the dirt roads by the beach where we are right now. The second time was when I went moto camping, and so now we're back, but this time I'm taking my new Triumph Street Scrambler or Scrambler 900 through these dirt roads and see how it compares with the Tiger 900. It's basically stock, except for, as you can see here, my bark busters, and I also place crash guards. But other than that, the bike's basically stock, and even the tires, I'm using the stock Metzeler Tourants. So let's take this down this dirt road, and after that, towards the end of this video, I'll share with you my experience and my perspectives regarding this bike, especially as it compares to my Triumph Tiger 900. So let's go. Okay, so let's put this to off-road. Wow, the low down torque is really working. Well, coming from my Tiger 900, which has a triple cylinder, I could really appreciate the twin cylinder that this bike has, because it gives me more low down torque, and also the throttle is less sensitive. I guess that's a natural weakness of, or I would say a natural characteristic of the Tiger with its triple cylinder. Even though it's made for off-road, or it has an off-road capability, its triple cylinder still makes it quite aggressive. Also, I could keep this in second gear because the gear range, or the range of each gear, is quite long. I mean, I've read about this and I've seen it in a couple of reviews. Even they say that even if the Street Scrambler has only 5 gears, it's sufficient because the range of each gear is long. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, engine brake at second gear works. I'm barely squeezing the clutch, and yeah, the engine can take it. And slowing the bike downhill. Okay everyone, so we've done the off-road ride, and I could say that I really enjoyed this bike, the Street Scrambler, or as Triumph calls it for 2023, the Scrambler 900. I mean, Triumph definitely designed it to be able to take on some level of off-road riding. It has the spoke wheels, it has the skid plate even if it's made out of plastic, and it has the off-road mode, so it can definitely go off-road, but it still has some limitations given the fact that it's a modern classic. The ground clearance isn't that high. I think it's almost as high as my Tiger 900 GT low, which is around 6 inches more or less, I think. So you could, I mean, it didn't happen to me now, but you could bottom it out. It's possible if you go through large rocks. But I added, as I said a while ago, I added bark busters, hand guards, and also the crash bars. But nevertheless, I wouldn't take this to the trails. I mean, I've seen videos out there where riders took the Street Scrambler to really serious off-road situations, but for regular people like me, I wouldn't take it to that extreme. I mean, for example, for trails, the path could be really slim, and you could go through some really large rocks or some really deep ruts where even dual sport motorcycles with their higher ground clearance would have difficulty passing. So I wouldn't take this there, especially since it's a bit heavy. It's just around 44 pounds lighter than the Tiger 900. So it's still quite heavy. Let's see, what else can I say? Oh yeah, the high exhaust pipe, of course, makes it more capable off-road. And Metzeler Tourance tires, it's 80/20, but it did quite well. And but yeah, I wouldn't take this to more extreme off-road conditions. I think this kind of situation is great and it's really fun, and the Scrambler really, you know, allows you to enjoy it, especially with its parallel twin engine. Now that's something I really noticed during the ride. You know, I rode my Tiger 900 through this loop a couple of times, and the thing I noticed about the Triumph Tiger is the fact that its triple cylinder engine makes it a bit difficult to control. You really have to consciously, carefully twist the throttle as you go through some rough patches because it's quite sensitive. On the other hand, this Scrambler 900, it has very good low-end torque. It really helped me a lot going up the mountain, and even in really sharp curves, I, I I broke traction a couple of times, but you know, it posed no problem for me because I was able to control the throttle very well. The Triumph Street Scrambler allowed me to do it. The other thing is the throttle response. It's more forgiving. It's easier than the throttle response of the Tiger 900. So yeah, I'd feel more comfortable. I'd feel more confident taking this off road. Now, one question that's often, or one topic that's often discussed in reviews and also in vlogs, is whether this is a good beginner bike. A lot of people say that it's a good beginner bike. I would say we have other riders here with us. Okay. Hi. Nakaya. Yeah, I saw them earlier today as I was riding. Kumusta ride nyo?
Inakyat niyo po?
Ha?
Inakyat niyo din.
Inakyat ko eh. Ay,
Sukal.
sa lower CC baka mahirapan kayo kasi medyo matarik eh. Tapos makikita niyo yung kurbada doon, di ba? Medyo sharp yung curve niya eh. Okay guys, shout out to my new friends. Sige. Introduce muna kayo.
Dan.
Dan.
Emil.
Bianca.
Mean.
Joms.
Joms.
Chris.
Chris.
And you are, sir?
Ako, I'm Joel.
Hi,
Yes.
Joel.
Okay.
Nice meeting you, sir.
Okay. Lakas ng loob niyo Benelli Dinaan.
Tsaka PCX.
Alright! Who needs a scrambler? Okay na Benelli. Sige guys, ride safe.
Ride safe.
Sir, God bless.
God bless. Okay, so sorry for that pause. I met some really nice people. They actually saw me pass them when I stopped to take a picture of the bike by the beach and to film the opening portion of this video. They were actually there, so they saw me pass them. And then since I was stopping a couple of times to film, they eventually saw me going up the mountain, and they're riding actually Benelli bikes. I think they were scooters, and they saw me go up the mountain and past that steep portion with the sharp curve, and they said that they tried it. At least two of them tried it, and they were able to do it, but then they decided to turn back and just pass through the other side. So back to this bike. So is it good for beginners? Some people say yes. Some reviews actually say yes. But for me, I wouldn't buy this as a first bike if I were a beginner. In fact, when I began riding and I bought my first bike, I really wanted to buy this bike because in fact this was the bike that got me into riding. I saw it for the first time. My friend brought it to his house, and I fell in love with it immediately. I said I want to ride, and I want to ride that bike. But I didn't buy it immediately because when I saw it, I felt that the high exhaust pipe would impair, would widen my stance, and therefore impair my ability to fully flat foot the bike, and lessen my confidence as a beginner rider. So I didn't buy it. Instead, I bought the T100, which I eventually changed for a street twin, or a speed twin 900. I think that's what they call it now, and that's what I would recommend if you're a beginner rider and you want to buy your first Triumph motorbike. I would recommend the Street Twin over the Street Scrambler. Number one, it's lower. It has a lower seat height. I think it's 765 millimeters as opposed to this, which is 790 millimeters. Number two, it has the low pipes. This high pipes could really cause you some problems, especially if you live in a country with in a tropical country like the Philippines. Especially in the middle of summer, it can really give out a lot of heat. So the other thing also is that the high exhaust pipes could impair a person's ability or a beginner rider's ability to practice, basic theories of riding. For example, because of the pipe, the rider will not be able to fully grip the tank, especially going off-road. And it also makes it difficult to place your foot on the pegs properly. So for example, here you can see so here's the high exhaust pipe, and your leg goes through here, and you see that it goes beyond the base of the foot peg, and so your foot actually goes somewhere here. And when you're riding off-road and standing up, your foot would tend to just go inward a little bit just to be able to comfortably press the brakes. So yeah, you'd have to take this into consideration. Okay, so having said all that, the pros and the cons of riding this bike, I would say that I really love the Scrambler 900 or the Street Scrambler. It's really fun. I like the way how it looks. I think it's really cool. The ride is very chill. Of course, I can take this on the highways and it's not slow. But of course, having ridden the Tiger 900, I miss the power of the triple cylinder engine on the road. But that extra power that I miss on the road, on the highway, translates to a very capable ride off-road. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it informative somehow. This is not a full review of the Street Scrambler or Scrambler 900. There's so many other reviews out there that talk about the specifications of the bike, so on and so forth. But I just really wanted to share with you my experience riding this bike off-road. So, thanks for watching and making it this far. If you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe. And I'll catch you on the road.